everybody, this is BlueZ here from the Token Minorities, here to bring you another Showdown OU ladder battle. I'm glad that you're all here because this is going to be a really good battle today. This is one you're not going to want to miss. So without further ado, let's take a look at our opponent's team. As of course you know always, I'm using my same team. I'm using Hippowdon, Sylveon, Tentacruel, Greninja, Breloom, and Mega Charizard Y. Now let's take a look at our opponent's team. He's using Tyranitar, Excadrill, Conkeldurr, Rotom Wash, Dragonite, and Gyarados. Now if anything is Gyarados is probably a Mega, seeing as, either his Gyarados or his Tyranitar. So my money's on the Tyranitar, but it could be either. Now, his Excadrill is going to be a real problem for my Sylveon, so at any and all costs, I'm going to want to be able to switch in my Hippowdon to take out his Excadrill. Of course, that's going to be a problem if his Excadrill is using a balloon, but I can just Whirlwind him right out of there. Now, my Sylveon is really going to eat up most of his team. I know that my Sylveon's going to be able to wall out a Rotom Wash, especially with a Heal Bell and a Hyper Voice just to take it right out. It's going to pretty much OHKO a Conkeldurr. It's going to deal nicely with a Dragonite, pretty much the rest of his team isn't going to like Sylveon that much. So if I can take out that Excadrill, things are going to be alright. But thinking about what he might be leading with, I'm not 100% sure. I've seen Rotom Wash leads and I've also seen Conkeldurr leads, so my money is on either of those. So let's start the battle to see what we can garner from that. Of course, I'm going to always lead with my Breloom. That'll be a nice counter for either Conkeldurr or Rotom Wash. If I can outspeed Conkeldurr, I can Spore him and deal with him nicely. And Rotom Wash is going to like a nice Bullet Seed to the face. So let's start the battle right now. As you see, he leads with Conkeldurr, and he's going to love a Spore right to the face. And that means that I'm free to use a bunch of Bullet Seeds to take it down to about half health, and he's still going to be asleep. He's not going to want to wake up. He's going to switch into Dragonite. I'm going to use a Bullet Seed. It only hits twice, and that's not going to do much to break its multi-scale. So I'm going to switch into Hippowdon. Hippowdon's going to be a nice counter to Dragonite, especially because he's now Dragon Danced, and I can just Whirlwind him right out of there. I'm going to want to set up Stealth Rocks first, though, because to Whirlwind his team around on a couple of rocks is going to be really, really nice. So there's a nice little Whirlwind. His Tyranitar comes in, and I know his Tyranitar cannot touch my Hippowdon, so that's a really lucky Whirlwind on my part. So I'm just going to take my easy time. I'm going to slack off here and there because his Tyranitar can't touch me, and I'm going to predict his switch in, and I'm going to first slack off, and then I'm going to Whirlwind. It looks like my opponent is going to want to burn off some turns of sleep, and of course he does. He uses a nicely timed Drain Punch, and there's that Flame Orb. I'm really glad I spored Conkeldurr to begin with, because that Flame Orb would have been a problem with his Conkeldurr's guts. But I'm able to take out his Conkeldurr with an Earthquake. He uses a nice prediction on his part. He brings out Rotom Wash, which is going to be a problem for my Hippowdon, and I'm going to switch into Sylveon. As I said before, Sylveon's going to be a great counter to Rotom Wash. He burns me with Will-O-Wisp, and a Heal Bell will take care of that. Now my Sylveon is not going to want to deal much with his Gyarados, so I'm going to switch into my Tentacruel, which is going to be a fantastic counter to his Gyarados, especially because he's Dragon Dancing. All I can use is a nice little Haze, and from here on out I'm going to try to Sludge Bomb and see if I can poison him. Poison Gyarados is going to be the best thing right now for his team. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth. He's going to Body Slam me a couple times. I'm going to Poison Bomb him, or Sludge Bomb him a couple times. And if I can't poison him, I know my best switch-in is going to be a Hippowdon, a nice little physical wall, especially because they'll probably keep using Body Slam. The unfortunate part is he actually paralyzes my Hippowdon, which is a little ironic. But of course, I'm gonna be able to use be able to outlast another Waterfall. Gonna be able to move past that Paralyze. The speed reduction isn't going to hurt me much. I'm gonna Whirlwind into Rotom Wash, and Sylveon's gonna be a perfect switch in again. Hopefully I can get in a Hyper Voice here or there to take it out. I use Heal Bell to heal my Hippowdon's paralysis, which is going to be nice, and he does the right thing, and he brings in his Excadrill. Now I want to see what his Excadrill does, and he actually uses Swords Dance, which could be a little bit of a problem, especially because if I switch in my Hippowdon, that is going to heavily take care of both my Hippowdon and my Tentacruel. So that's a big problem, but I know that my Breloom is going to be a perfect switch-in with a nice Mach Punch right to the face, especially if he doesn't have any priority moves. So that's going to take care of that Excadrill, and now my Sylveon has free reign to take care of his entire team. Woo! So he's going to bring out his Dragonite, and that's not going to be a good day for him with Sylveon. Now Sylveon is going to have fun messing with his Gyarados, especially because he is so low health and I have about 79%. So I'm going to Wish here, and then I'm going to Hyper Voice. That's going to take his Gyarados right out, and that's going to be a nice healthy Sylveon on my side of the field. His Tyranitar is going to be a little bit of a problem, especially because he's got Sand Up. It's going to do some condition damage to me, and that Earthquake is going to be nasty, especially from a Mega Tyranitar. So his Earthquake ends up being a critical hit. I use Wish, my best option, and it faints, and I know my switch in into Breloom is going to be perfect. Even though my Sash is already broken and that Sandstorm is going to bring him down even further, that Wish is going to bring him back up right up to full health, and that Focus Sash is back on. So I know that I can use a Spore safely on his Dragonite. Even though his Dragonite doesn't kill me, it doesn't bring me down to 1% health, and I'm able to use a Rock Tomb, which is going to do some serious damage to his Dragonite and take it out. Now it's just down to Breloom and Rotom Wash, and this is where the fun begins. All I need is a nice little Mach Punch here and there. He misses Hydro Pump, and well, that's GG. This was a fun battle. There was a lot of evals on my part, and I'm really glad that you know, I got to do this because there was a lot of good shifting on his side of the field too. I'm really bummed that my Hippowdon and my Tentacruel got taken out so early, but I think I just ended up using them as death fodder. That was probably the best move on my part because they probably weren't that needed. They had already served their purpose as much as they could. And I didn't even bring out my sweepers. I didn't even bring out Greninja or Charizard Y, which is really nice. So this is a fun battle. I hope to bring you guys another battle in the future. Check every Friday. I should have another battle listed every Friday, especially throughout this summer. I should be putting up more battles every now and then, every week. Of course, if you want to battle any of us Token Minorities on Showdown, you can find us there. Of course, do /user space Moxie. That's me. Come find me. I'm up for any challenges, chatting, any sort of discussion. I'm all game. Other than that, I hope to see you guys next time. This is BlueZ signing out, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye!